Well, hello. This video might be quite short. Um, we're having a couple of days away this weekend. We're going to Ireland just Friday to Monday. Um, and we always travel light. We're going by Ryanair from Manchester to Knock. We're going to the west of Ireland and we're going to visit a family member. And we usually travel with the underseat luggage. We have used underseat luggage for 5 nights in Spain before now. We're getting really good at minimalist packing. So I'm going to show you what I'm packing for my 3 nights in Ireland. And I've got to say this time I'm packing very, very light because we're not doing anything posh. We don't plan to go out for dinner anywhere. We're literally just seeing family. So basically, I'm going to mix and match and wear a couple of things the same. So I'm not putting half as much I would normally put in if I was going to Spain. And even Spain, I can really make 5 days outfits in a small bag. So this is very, very minimalist, but I'm just going to show you what I'm taking and how because I do the packing, how I'm packing it. Okay, so let's see how we go. Now, in the bag that I'm using, this is the Cabinmax rucksack, which is specified for EasyJet, because obviously if you travel light, different airlines have different sizes. Some have slightly more underseat sizing, but the smallest is Ryanair, and this is the one that is chosen for Ryanair. You don't have to use this bag, but the one they're saying it's one of the best. It's got little pockets and a big area, and it's padded, and it's a rucksack, and that's what we normally use. John's going to be using this. I actually have one that's got a tropical pattern on, but as you won't know this yet, but I'm absolutely obsessed with packing videos. I watch hours of them. Now I saw this one on somebody's lately, and this is from Primark, and it's £25, and it's the same dimensions as that, but it's one solid space rather than smaller areas. So what I want to try and do and see, really, if I pack in there and then I try and pack it in there, is there any different in the size? Because one person I saw who mentioned it wondered if you can get more in the bigger space than the way it's divided up into small. So I don't know. And the beauty of this is that if you unzip it there, it has a handle and it has some wheels, so you can pull it along a little bit rather than that's just as a backpack. Now, I do have a really chronic back problem. I actually find that's quite comfortable. I don't know why, it gives a bit of support to my back, but I want to try this time and see. I wish I could remember the YouTuber. I've seen this on the video, and they show you clearly it going into the luggage checker. If you get pulled with Ryanair to try and go, you have to put your bag in. So I'm going to see how this goes. I partly want to try it, but one tip I have seen is somebody said, when you go up to the gate, don't wheel it, carry it, because they said if you've got somebody who's particularly who's particularly officious, they might take offence at the wheels and say that they make the dimensions bigger, but I believe it doesn't. So they said, like, don't draw attention to the wheels, just carry it. So that is what I'm going to do, and so we'll see how we go on. Right now, so I've got everything out that I need. Do you know I always say I wear black? Have you noticed? There seems to be a lot of black around. Anyway, so I'm taking one pair of shoes. These are Echo boots, and they're like a new book suede. They actually could do with a bit of a clean up. They are actually showerproof. The water will just roll off them. I'm really influenced by other people. I saw these on an American travel YouTuber, and she swears by them. She had them in grey, and you know they look really nice. I bought mine for when I went on a cruise to Alaska, because I thought, it can be a bit damp over there. I wore them, super light, super comfortable. So that is what I will be wearing. And forgive me, I'm going to wear the same pair all weekend. So I'll put those down. Now, clothes wise, I'm travelling one pair of black jeans. I have a black t-shirt. Well, why is that not a surprise? And I have a little zip-up jacket with a white band from I got it from Tesco's the other week. It was in the sale, and I think with my club card I got it for about £12. So I'll wear that and that. It's a couple of layers. And then I have a lightweight black jumper from New Look. It has a nice little detail of black sleeves. Black sleeves with, dotted sleeves. And they've got a nice little frill at the hem. So I'll wear these with the black jeans on Saturday. Sunday, I will probably wear that black zip up again, but with a white t-shirt. This one's from Next. It's got a nice little bit of pearl beading around the edge. And then I've got quite a casual pink t-shirt, which I'll probably wear to come home with on Monday. So really that's all I need. A bra, and I've got my underwear in there, and a spare pair of socks, and I have a pair of black leggings, just in case, I don't know, I got caught in a downpour and my jeans were wet, and I got something a bit more comfortable to maybe lounge around the hotel, or if we go to my nephew's for the day. I then have nightwear. I have a little sleep bra, I have a little pair of lightweight shorts, and I've got a long sleeve cotton top, which will be my nightwear. This is an awful video, isn't it? Because everything's so dark, and even the bedding's dark. I do apologise for that. And then these are my toiletries that I'm going to pack. Now, I take very little. We tend to use what the hotel provides for shower gel, hair shampoo. I mean, there is a chance I might get away without shampoo in my hair, because, like I say, it's very fine for the menopause. So I always take some dry shampoo with me. And at Manchester, they now have the modern scanners in. So even though they say you don't have to have your liquids in a bag, but I still tend to put it in a bag because I might need it when I'm coming back from knock. I can't remember last time whether we took them out of our bag or not. So, but anything, even though we've got the new scanners, they've still got to be less than 100ml. So I have, let me see what I've got. Oh, I'm trying to do this without, so I have a toothbrush. Now, I use an electric toothbrush at home, but when I travel, I just carry a small toothbrush. So that's that. I tend to buy, when you're going in the shops, like the pound shop, they often sometimes have offers on, don't they? There's like 5 toothbrushes for £1 or whatever. Sometimes they're at the till. So I got them. 2 small toothpastes. Usually we can manage one, but there's two bits in this. There's a bit in that and a bit in that, so I'll get rid of it. I've got a very small pot of Nivea. This isn't what I would normally use for my skincare. I'd normally have a serum and then a cream on top of that, and sometimes a night cream. But to be honest, one size fits all when I go on holiday. It's small, it's 50ml, and it's a hand cream, and it's a body cream, and it's a moisturiser. For 3 days, my skin won't suffer by using that. I always have a lip salve. I have lip salves everywhere. I don't use them normally. I don't know why, but you can bet your life if I don't have one, I need one. And I bought this one when I was going through security last trip. So lip salve, a solid deodorant. Doesn't count as a liquid anyway, so it wouldn't have to go into that bag. It can go straight into the travel bag. I use a men's. It fits both of us. Because I'm a little bit of a bigger lass, as you know, I always find that I think a men's, when you've got sort of larger folds, I always find that I think the men's is much better anyway, much better results. So we have a men's. This is my perfume. It's a very small misty or roll-on. How many mils is in this? It's a perfume. I think it's about 50ml. It's less than 100. This was on us going on a trip to Greece with my friends. they were all going through duty free and buying things. And I saw this and it was small. And like I say, if I drop the lid off, you can see it's a rollerball, so you don't really get any spillage or anything. So that's my travel perfume. You've seen that. I have a very small texturizing gum for my hair to give it a little bit of a zhuzh and a bit of body. These are my little tricks. Now, these are makeup pads in sealed bags. And what I do is I cover them with micellar water. So that's makeup removers. They're not a liquid. They're a solid anyway. They take up no room. I've just happened to have two. And that's my makeup remover for the week. There's a very small aftershave for John, little Armani. If we ever get any samples anywhere, I love them. We save them for travel. Sometimes in a lot of the places, you'll now know in shops, they might sell four Armani different scents in a box. They're about £40 or so, but they're perfect because we travel on hand luggage. The only time we don't use hand luggage is if we're going on a cruise. So we always have small samples lying around. And I found this we went to the Isle of Man and we went on the ferry over to the Isle of Man, and this was in the shop. I think it cost me £22. Now I'm going to try and get the lid off this. Right, I'm going to pause it and I'm going to come back. Right, so going back to these that I was trying to show you. These, a little tin, I think it was £22, and it was on the Isle of Man ferry. Please focus. And look at them. They're tiny, tiny little pearls of perfume. So you don't even have to be, if you want to be really minimal, you don't even have to take the tub. Struggling to focus this, they're that small. So basically, you just nip the end off. Oh, I'm not doing well here. You just take the end off and please focus. And anyway, it's got a little dose of perfume in, and you just squeeze it onto your skin, or you've got a dose of perfume. I mean, you could even just carry like 4 or 5. That is such micro travel. I absolutely adore them. I'm fascinated by little travel gadgets. I love packing and traveling light. So that's another perfume. In fact, I think because I'm taking the Daisy, I won't be taking the Miss Dior. I think I'll leave that one behind. So that's all that. I will pack it all in that. And then I don't take a hairdryer because I use what's there. I have a small handbag. This is very old, about 30 years old. It's a Radley bag. It's real leather. You can tell it's been used, but it folds very, very flat, little pockets. And that will be my handbag for the weekend. But because it's Ryanair, you can't wear it. So it will actually slip in the bag. But then in that, I have this little, I've got an obsession with crowns. You're learning lots about me now. I love anything with a crown on. I got this in a little, an antiques place. I don't think it is antiques. And I think that must be maybe from one of the royal museums. But I have a little pouch, and in that we have the 2 passports in there. And then in the side, I then will carry like techie. The only things I've got else to go in is my camera and chargers. And then in here, I always carry this wallet which has travel insurance, and you can say it's been well used. A copy of travel insurance, a copy of all our current prescriptions, because sometimes when you're going abroad, people want to know. Again, the G-Hit cards are in here. And I always have, because John has a medical condition, I always have 2 letters, his most latest letter and the first letter he had that explains what his illness is, because this was advised to him by a specialist nurse. So if ever he was taken ill abroad, you don't have to try and explain to somebody. We can just give them the letters and they know exactly what his base condition is. So that's that. So basically that's everything. The small piler over there is John's, but he's more or less doing the same. 1 pair of jeans, travelling in a t-shirt And then he's got spare underwear, and he's got 3 t-shirts. He's going to travel in that. So a Saturday, Sunday, Monday t-shirt and a sweatshirt for him in case it's cold. So carrying on, I've got my little earpods. I always listen to an audio book. And then the most important thing is always to check the weather. So we've got tomorrow 1 degrees to 9, Saturday 6 while 10. Well, I say 6 while 10, the temperature's 6 while 8, and Monday's 6 and 9. A bit of rain. There's always a bit of precipitation in the west of Ireland, but it's not too bad. But I know from the member of the family that we're going to see has no idea we are turning up. We have surprising him. We're not actually staying with him, we're in a hotel, but we're actually surprising him. But he's spoken to his mum, who's told us that it's not as cold as here. They've not had any frost or anything. So hopefully the clothes we've got are enough. I did have more layers, but I've changed it. So always check the weather so you know when you're going. Right, we're getting there, folks. Yeah, I have some medicines. I use one of these little travel pods. I've had it ages. And I keep things like, and I label them underneath. You can tell it's all paracetamol, ibuprofen, cocodamol, calms when I used to take those, and sturgeon anti-seasickness. I used to take various other ones, but I just carry that everywhere. It just fits. Takes up very little room in any bag. As you know, I have asthma, so I had to take my spacer, my preventer, and my reliever. And then I carry very, very minimal makeup. This little pouch, I love it. It's silicone. It was a pencil case in Tesco's for about £5 prior to going back to school, and I think it's really great. So to keep down liquids, I use Max Factor Miracle Touch cream to liquid foundation. So that's not a liquid. I take a little fancy champagne, and it's an eye pencil by Revolution, one of my favourites. A small blush, which will be liquid cream, which will go over to the liquids. And can I just say, this is a new favourite. And I think this was about £2 in Poundland. I saw somebody do Poundland Cosmetics, and I tried this. I love it. A brow gel, Brow Define. A little bronzer that's falling apart, and if this one falls apart and it doesn't come back with me, it doesn't matter. I use my bronzer, and I often will use a bronzer as an eyeshadow when I'm on holiday. I just put a little bit of the bronzer on my lids. I have Glotion, which I just put on top of my other, just to give myself a look. As you get older, your skin goes a bit dull, so I use this L'Oreal Glotion. A travel brush. I do have a full travel set, but I'm just using this one from here. That was off Shein. The concealer, Maybelline eraser. That'll be a liquid. A mascara, which is a Revolution Big Lash. Actually, I thought this was a Maybelline because of the shape of it. I've got to say, I'm going to finish this, but I don't like it, but it's coming with me. And a couple of eye pencils, different colours. I've got, I think that's Maybelline. Oh, that's MUA Botanicals, which is like a dark green, and that's really nice. And then this, I don't know what I'm taking to, but this is a tattoo liner from Maybelline, and it's like a grey colour, pewter, right, as you can see on the end, pewter grey. I'll take that. A couple of these, you might have seen these in one of my everyday carry videos. These like open up as little towels. I take one of them. Don't know why, because I do. And these have been in from previous visits. I carry these small pots. In there is a BB cream. I always use a BB cream because I've got sort of sun damage on my face and different colours and blemishes. So I always use a BB cream. And in this is a liquid foundation. I tend to blend a bit of Glotion and a bit of whatever else I'm using. At the moment, it's like a Lacora Hollywood Filter, the dupe of Charlotte Tilbury. And I often carry one of these. These are in my bag, so they're in there. There will be a couple of liquids. So that's that. That's my medicines. That's that. John will take his own medicines. And now it's to put it all in the bag and let's see what it all looks like. Right, so here's the final packing. My clothes are in. I've started from the bottom down because when I stand it up, they'll all fall to the bottom. But as I say, I've got everything in comfortably. I've got my makeup, I've got my liquid at the top just in case I need to take them out. I can just lift them out. And as you can see, there is plenty of room. And I will wear my handbag to the airport. But when we get to check-in, I'll just slip it inside and it will zip up easily and still be plenty of squashiness. Now, if I was going somewhere else, I'd have extra stuff, but that's another video for another day. Jewellery-wise, I've just got, you might have seen me in my simple B earring necklace. I've got that on and some simple earrings. And then in John's bag, which is a Cabinmax underseat storage, we still have masks, we always carry masks for when we're on holiday. Excuse me, from when, COVID, we always carry masks. But I always think, if we're on a plane and there was somebody around us and we don't really like, if they were coughing or whatever, I must admit we still use them. I have friends who are so anti-mask. So this has another little zip pocket. There are more tea bags in there. This one's a bit used. John tends to he'll put his toothbrush in there. And then in here, he's got his sweatshirt, his t-shirt. There is absolutely plenty of room. This is the bag that I use for my techie. I'm using my phone at the moment, but like I say, I've got this new a DJI that John bought me for my birthday, and I'm trying to get into it. So I've packed that. So they're in John's bag. There is still plenty of room, and the only thing left to go in is my tablet's over there. I always carry my tablet, and so we've got plugs in here, chargers. We've got everything we need for hopefully 3 days. And when I say I'm going to meet a family member and we're going to surprise them, don't think we're being awful, because we're very, very close to them. And it's my husband's idea that we just surprise them. He kept saying, you'll come again, won't you? You'll come again. And John went, you never know. So we have booked a hotel, we've booked the flights, we've had it done for about 8 weeks. And so tomorrow we're going to see them and surprise them for the weekend, because I know they don't have any plans. So it's been a bit. So that's it. 2 sets of underseat luggage for 3 days in Ireland. Stop.